Frying without fat is quite an interesting system because it is, especially for people that have heart problems, with blood problems, they may not fry with too much fat, so they can do it without fat for most of the meats like steaks, chicken, pork meat, and anything else. So we are going to do it with some pork chops, but we can do it with all other systems. The frying without fat is possible in these special frying pans, from which we will also describe the combination and the composition of the materials. But there is no non-stick material, and we will show that it will not stick. Afterwards, we are going to demonstrate how to make pancakes. So how to make pancakes. We will start with some pancakes with some butter, but we will continue without butter. And again there, it will not stick. And that's to demonstrate the very special quality of these fry pans compared to traditional fry pans on the market. And we are going to heat up the frying pan up to the frying temperature. Now there is one problem. When we use a butter or oil, we can see it. We can see when the butter is melted, when it's getting brownish, or before it's getting brownish, we lower the heat. Here we cannot do it because it's dry. There's nothing inside. So how are we going to handle that? Well, we are going to use water to control it. So at this moment, when we put drops of water, nothing is going to happen because it's still below cooking temperature, below 212 degrees Fahrenheit. But at the moment, the temperature is higher than 212 degrees Fahrenheit. The water, like it's happening now, is going to evaporate. So in fact, it's going to become steam. So we know at this moment, and this everywhere in the base because of the equal heat distribution independent from the heat source, we know at this moment the temperature is higher than cooking, but it's still below the frying temperature. The frying temperature which we have to obtain is around 450, 460 degrees Fahrenheit. And we can control it by the drops of water. Very simple, by looking to the water drops that we are letting in the fry pan. At the moment, they are becoming balls, that they are really swiveling around in the fry pan. We know that the temperature is nearly reached, but we have to wait until the moment that the first water ball is immediately forming a ball. So at this moment, I hope you can see it, you already have some small balls, but when we drop the first drop, the water drops, it's just steaming. So it's still too cold. It's probably 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still too cold for the process that we want to do and which is too cold for frying. So it's getting there. Depending on the size of the burner, depending on the size of the fry pan, it will take you 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But if you would use an induction burner of a sufficient power, it would go much faster than on a gas burner, and on an electric burner, it will go slower than on a gas. But that's independent. So you see we have even big bowls that are formed here. So the temperature is reached. Now the first thing I will do, I will lower a little bit the power, so to a medium flame, because suppose I keep the high flame, the temperature is going higher and higher, and I'm going to burn the food, and then I will stick the food. So we will really put the chopstick here. We will press it because we want to evacuate the air between the meat and the fry pan so that we obtain a nice brown, crispy surface. Now we can turn around the pan. The meat will not drop off because it's really sticking to the base. And this is normal. Until the moment that the egg whites in the meat are not really fried, the meat will stick. And we don't have to try to take it off. No, just leave it like that, and in 2 or 3 minutes, the meat will come up from itself, and we will have a nice brown crust. So after some time, you can start feeling on the edges, and suddenly you feel it's coming loose, and then you turn it around. One important point also is how to control the temperature at the moment you are doing this process. Look to the liquids that are coming out of the meat, they should stay white. They should stay transparent white. They should not become yellow. They should certainly not become brown. If they are getting yellow or brown, this means that we are going overboard with the temperature. So that means we should lower a little bit more the flame. Yeah? And this is naturally one of the challenges when we do such demonstrations and we don't know the heater that we are using. These are the methods that we use to control the heat. So I hope it will be successful today also. Okay, you see already on the edges it's coming loose. So I leave it a little bit longer and I turn it around afterwards. Now this method, I must say, it doesn't take more time than frying. And for certain persons, it is an advantage. They can have a juicy meat, not so dry as with grilled meat, and without using any additional fat. Okay, so we are there. What I see here, it is brown, but not really brown enough. So this means I add a little bit more. So again, you can adjust it according to your own preferences and your own requirements. Now, when we have done the second side, don't try to turn around now because you have already some oil coming out and some liquid, so it would not be so nice. But once we have done the second turn, so we have 2-3 minutes on one side, 2-3 minutes on the other side. Suppose you are making a steak which has to be blue or red, you can serve it right away, it's finished. But sometimes you want to have your meat medium or well done. So then you can do different things. You can keep it on the heating element just for another 3-4 minutes. Or what you can do, certainly when you like to obtain some sauce, is to put it aside on the table, cover it up with a lid, and put it on an insulating plate, which can be a soup tray, or we will use perhaps this double boiler. We want to have air underneath the base of the pan. So the color is already better. So we want to insulate, to use the energy which is accumulated in the special material of the fry pan. We want to use it to continue frying the meat to obtain the texture and the finish that we want. Suppose that we have a very thick pork chop, and we want to have it well done in the middle. Perhaps we have to give it another 10-15 minutes, but that's all right. There is enough power inside the frying pan to do it. So to show it, I use here a glass lid, but I cannot really use a stainless steel lid. So, and we are going to place it here, and we just leave it alone. If you would be very, very quiet, and you would come here, you would hear that the frying is going on for at least another 15 minutes. Yeah? So there is enough power accumulated. So that's another thing. Our pans are naturally heavy, but they are heavy for a purpose, not because we like them or we say, oh, the people, they have to spend a lot of money, so we have to make them very heavy. No. The reason is to obtain the qualities that we want to give to the consumer. And one of the qualities is we want to save energy, and this is a method. You can really present it on the table, you leave it alone for 10-15 minutes, and you will see that besides preparing the meat in the middle, you obtain also a natural sauce, a sauce which is coming from the meat itself. It's the humidity in the meat which is going to come against the cover, condensating and falling down. And you have a natural sauce which we will look at in a minute. We will now have a look to what's happened to our chopstick. So I hope you can see it. So we have all this amount of sauce which has been prepared at the same time. So we will take it out.